We just want to find her. We just want to find her, safe somewhere. You know, it's now day 8, and it's nothing. It's nothing. Come on, guys. There's somebody has to have seen something or somebody knows something.
You could just feel the pain in the mother of Kandi Green Gonzalez as she's pleading for help in that clip, talking about it being day 8. Now, it's quickly coming up on 2 years. How does a woman go missing just moments after asking for help? She was reportedly in full view of several others. It was even caught on numerous cameras, but she left only her shoes behind. It's time to turn on the searchlight for Kandi Green Gonzalez. Welcome back to Brain Scratch Searchlight. I'm John Lordan. Thank you so much for caring about these cases like I do. Before I start today, I just want to thank the HibaChai channel on YouTube. Hiba does some great work. And if you appreciate a caring, thoughtful approach, like I know so many of you out there do, you'll definitely appreciate her. So I'm going to have a link to her channel down in the description box below. When you get some free time, please check her work out. I'll be trying to weave in what we've found with some of the details from Hiba's previous coverage to give us kind of the most complete view I can get of this case. Now, Kandi Green Gonzalez lived in and around Floyd County in Kentucky. Born to Betty Jo and David Dixon in December of 1984, she was always interested in the human body and how it worked. After high school, she attended Lexington Healing Arts Academy, earning a certification in therapeutic massage and bodywork. From there, she attended and graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology from Spencerian College. The term kinesiology actually comes from the Greek language meaning kinesis or movement. Practitioners focus on the ways that physical activity affects the body and our overall health and well-being. It's the science of human movement, and it involves studying biology, exercise, and athletics. This knowledge can be applied to everything from sports management and fitness to physical education and rehabilitation programs for people with diseases, disabilities, or injuries. Kandi's career path had a lot of potential and was just filled with opportunities. Many years later, it was the summer of 2021, and Kandi was working as a licensed massage therapist. She was divorced and had a 5-year-old son named Hendrix. She shared custody of Hendrix with her ex-husband. And for the previous few years, she had been living with her boyfriend at that time, a man named Jeff Blackburn. They lived together in a house about a half-mile from Abbott Creek Road in Prestonsburg. Prestonsburg is a small town that serves as the Floyd County seat in Kentucky. As of the 2020 census, there were a total of 3,681 residents in this rural area. There, you can visit the banks of the Big Sandy River, visit Civil War sites, or go to concerts at the Mountain Arts Center, which is home to the Kentucky Opry. As a matter of fact, there are several singers and songwriters who came from the Big Sandy River region, including Loretta Lynn, Crystal Gayle, the Judds, and Billy Ray Cyrus. On June 1st, 2021, 36-year-old Kandi showed up in the backyard of a local home in Prestonsburg. She seemed distraught, wearing only a pink romper and flip-flops. A woman, reportedly a relative of the homeowner, had found Kandi wandering about the property on Abbott Creek Road. Kandi was visibly distressed, but the woman demanded that Kandi get out of their backyard and walk along the highway. Here is some video that Hiba was able to get a hold of showing the start of this interaction.
Does she know there's a ring? Does she know that there's a ring watching her right now? There's a camera on the doorbell. We can see her. Where did she go? I'm coming. It's all right. Listen, I don't know where you're going, but you need to get out of this yard. Walk along the highway. Huh? Keiko can see her from the ring. Oh, okay. Coco knows what's going on already. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what you're doing, but you need to call my mother. Call your mother? I will call your mother for you. Happily.
I mean, look, I get it. If someone would pop up in my backyard unannounced like that, I'd be asking for them to get out as well. But it seems pretty clear to me fairly early on that this is someone that's in distress, someone that needs help. Kandi begged the woman to call her mother, and thankfully, the woman did agree. Once again, thanks to Hiba, we can hear the entire voicemail. Here it is.
Listen, I have your daughter. She says she's your daughter in my yard. She's asked me to call you, but she's and Jess apparently has kicked her out. No, it's not fun. I thought that's what you were saying, Mom. Hey, Mom. It's voicemail, honey. Mommy. Oh, it's voicemail. That's why I was trying to just say. Wow.
To this day, this voicemail haunts her mother, Betty Dixon. I know it also sounds like the woman is laughing at one point, and I'm just a little disappointed that she didn't seem to appreciate the gravity of the situation, but she wasn't the only one. Several other people were in the backyard. They were witnessing this interaction, and despite them thinking that Kandi was crazy, one of them even says it out loud, it seems that no one thought to actually call the police. Although I do think they wanted Kandi to think that they did call the police. Let's watch the end of the interaction here, including the last moments that anyone saw Kandi.
I need you to get out of this yard or come talk to me. One of the two. Don't play on me. You are on our land. I need to understand why. I need you not to mess with their crops.
Because she don't get the creek.
Look here.
Hey, watch out, there's snakes down there.
What the heck?
Well, I don't know why you tried to reason with her. She's clearly crazy.
Something always grabs me when I look into these cases, and especially when you have footage or tape like we do in this one, and you just see the missed opportunity. And look, we're looking at it in hindsight. I know that these people had no idea that Kandi was about to become a missing person now over a year and 10 months ago. So I get it, but it just kind of grabs at me. I just wish someone would have thought, hey, you know what? This is a little weird. I mean, what if she was on something? What if she was about to go into an overdose? What if she hurt herself while she was on your property? There's all kinds of things that could have gone wrong here. And it just seems like the biggest missed opportunity that no one thought, you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's call and let's get a deputy out here to speak to this young lady and see what was going on. But would there have been a reason why Kandi might not have wanted to speak to a deputy in particular? Now, if all this didn't seem like enough, reportedly there were some other men that had been harassing Kandi leading up to that interaction on the property. Now, I've heard it reported a few different ways. I've heard that there were 2 men in a truck. Other accounts say that it was 2 teenagers on a moped. I'm not sure which is right, but essentially they saw this woman that was upset and these 2 guys just started harassing her. The woman at the house said that the young men were from town and that they were just guys that were doing yard work in the area. She claims that they saw Kandi on the road and yelled to her to try to help her, is what they say. But Kandi's mother, Betty, believes that the boys were actually taunting Kandi, not helping her. Betty says that when Kandi ran into the homeowner or this strange backyard, that they pulled into the same driveway and they continued their verbal assault, but to a lesser degree. Now, how does she know that? We can see from the footage that we've heard of that there's a Ring camera, there's a doorbell cam. So there is more footage that was probably captured of everything going down around this. I have not seen any public source of the Ring doorbell footage being released, but it's possible that Kandi's mother did. A missing persons report would be filed the next day on June 2nd, but not much was done by local authorities to actually help try to find her. So the family took it upon themselves to start the search. As her family scoured the woods and the creek where she disappeared, Kandi's flip-flops were found, and only from about 5 feet from where she crossed through a creek. Investigators were notified, and they told the family to go ahead and collect them. But the family didn't feel comfortable messing with something that could turn out to be potential evidence, so they insisted, law enforcement, you guys get out here and pick this up. The Kentucky State Police didn't take the shoes into their possession until 3 days later on June the 5th. The shoes were left near the creek that entire time. This was also the first day that KSP held a search for her. This search effort only lasted about 45 minutes. They basically looked around the area where the shoes were found. I heard that they did have at least a canine out there, but it seems like they didn't really find anything else to help this investigation. Kandi's family has received some aid from local law enforcement, but mostly they've been conducting their own searches, and they've had some help offered from independent search and rescue teams. The Kentucky Gone Cold podcast helped detail more of the search efforts by her family. Basically, her family was able to find tracks showing that she did enter the creek, she ran down it for several feet, and then foot and handprints show that she got out of the water and she climbed up an embankment to the other side. She moved back and forth on the other side of the creek before walking in a direction that seemed to actually be leading back to her and Jeff's home. Now, KSP found the same prints and followed that same track with tracking dogs, but after they reached an area near her home, her scent and the tracks just stopped. Flyers were handed out, and news reports told all of the details of Kandi's disappearance and asked for help in finding her. The reports were pretty lean and offered little in the way of new information. They list her as standing at about 5 foot 8 inches tall and weighing about 110 pounds. Kandi has blonde hair and blue eyes and was last seen in this pink romper and the flip-flops that we mentioned. She had no personal items with her, which kind of makes you think if she had been kicked out of her house, like she had told the woman when she asked her to call her mom, why wasn't she allowed to get her clothes, her purse, her phone, her car? Most of these items were found back at the home that she shared with Jeff, but her purse and phone were actually found in Jeff's truck. Reports say that when officers attempted to look at Kandi's phone, it was locked and they weren't able to unlock it. Of course, considering she was upset and her trail leads back home, it raises the question, who is Jeff Blackburn? Unfortunately, we have very little information on him. Hiba has included a few photos in her coverage, and the little else we know comes from media sources. We do know that the two of them dated for about 2 years. But before that, in 2017, Jeff was arrested on drug charges related to trafficking. In that, 16 indictments were served on people who were known drug dealers in Prestonsburg and the surrounding counties. Even before that, back in 2013, Jeff was arrested for public intoxication just days after his father, John K. Blackburn, was arrested for drunk driving. Interesting note on that, John K. Blackburn was actually the sheriff of Floyd County. According to the family, Jeff hasn't really helped in the search or investigation of Kandi, and the details of their argument has never been released. Jeff stated that he was afraid to approach the family and help with their search because he was afraid Kandi's cousins would beat him up. The family organized more searches themselves for the next 17 days before, on June 19th, the Fulton County Sheriff's Office finally conducted an official search. The announced 6-hour search was conducted over 2 weeks using helicopters, drones, tracking, and cadaver dogs. Residents in the area checked their homes and outbuildings in the hopes of finding her. At the end of everyone's effort, no trace of Kandi was found. "It's the weirdest thing in the world," said Floyd County Sheriff John Hunt. "She was just wandering around somebody's backyard and she just runs through the creek and just disappears. Nobody chasing her, nothing to suspect anything, then she was just on her own, ran into the creek, and so far she hasn't been found." Although the family has accepted the help of multiple search and rescue agencies who have assisted in Kandi's search, law enforcement has turned some of those offers down, as well as help offered by neighboring law enforcement agencies. Now, Jeff Blackburn did agree to take a polygraph test, but he didn't show up for his July 6th appointment. He claimed that no one had told him what day it was supposed to be held. When he was asked to reschedule, Blackburn said that he's no longer willing to take the test because everyone thought that he had done something to Kandi anyway. He then said he would hire an attorney, and his efforts to help the investigation came to a complete and full stop. Since the day of her disappearance, none of Kandi's accounts, social or financial, have been used. There have been no sightings of her, and no evidence of her whereabouts has ever been found. At this point, rumors run rampant, with a lot of people saying that Jeff Blackburn had something to do with Kandi's disappearance. It's also believed that possibly his father, as an ex-sheriff, called in some favors to keep his son out of jail. None of this has been proven. No arrests have been made, and of course, Jeff is innocent until proven guilty. No persons of interest have been publicly announced, and there are seemingly no direct signs of foul play. As of this recording, Kandi's case is still considered a missing persons investigation. Kandi had no mental illnesses noted, no drug abuse noted. Her family adamantly claims that she would never leave her son. Some have speculated that maybe Kandi was on something or having some sort of mental break. But consider that even though Kandi was that distressed, she was still able to communicate, and she was able to give someone her mother's phone number off the top of her head from her memory. That's something that I can't even do in a normal situation. For now, her family continues to push ahead with little involvement from local law enforcement and continues to conduct their own searches. They've carried the burden of Kandi's disappearance for 686 days now, and they see no end in sight. Her son Hendrix has struggled without his mother. In the early days of her disappearance, he would often ask when she was going to be home. There were also times that he was out in public places and he would think that he saw her. Quote, "You know what's really sad? You know when you see a little child who's so excited that he's going to see Santa Claus? My grandson, Hendrix, he sees a blonde-headed woman walking. When she turns around, he sees she's not his mom. Imagine that devastation," Betty said. Today, they continue to hope and look for Kandi. She's a missing person, she's a mother, she's a sister, she's someone's daughter, and we all need her, Betty said. We need her to be found. We need the help to find her, and we need people to feel that, regardless of what someone thinks. Kandi Green Gonzalez was last seen on June 1st, 2021, in the area of Abbott Creek Road in Prestonsburg, Kentucky. She was wearing a pink one-piece romper outfit. She was 36 years old at that time, and she stands at 5 foot 8 inches tall and weighs around 110 pounds. She has blonde hair and blue eyes. Please, share this video with friends and acquaintances in Kentucky to help us raise awareness to this case. And if you have any information regarding the disappearance of Kandi Green Gonzalez, please pick up that phone, contact the Kentucky State Police at 606-433-7711. Since 2015, we have always run limited commercial ads for the benefit of you, the viewers, and, more importantly, the families we're trying to help. Obviously, we can't do that without support. A big thank you to new patron Sigrid E. O'Hearn. If you'd like to help us, please visit LordanArts.com. There, you can sign up for Patreon, sign up for PayPal, buy merchandise, or even just buy us a coffee like Candy Bishop recently did. We really appreciate your support on our mission to run as few ads as possible while we're helping as many cases as we can. Thank you. Change.org, WSAZ.com, WBKO.com, WYMT.com, 14news.com, FLOYDCT.com, missingpersonscases.com, learn.org, and Wikipedia for information contributing to today's story. Also, thank you to everyone that is out there helping Kandi's family with those volunteer search efforts. It sounds like that's all they've pretty much got right now. So I just want to let all of you out there know how much I appreciate you helping this family. There is also a change.org petition. We're going to have a link to that in the description box down below. Please, if you can't be there locally to help support the family, just take a moment, take a look at it, see if you can add your signature. I'd really, really appreciate that. Let's keep our eyes, ears, and hearts open and looking for Kandi Green Gonzalez. I'll see you here again soon on the LordanArts channel.